On millions of farms, a food is grown that becomes edible in less than a month. It can be cut, regrows, and harvested again while farmers continue waiting months for the main crop. Laboratory research published in the journal Food Chemistry shows that this fast-growing food contains high levels of vitamin A, iron, and antioxidant compounds. It is eaten daily by millions of people worldwide. In industrial agriculture, it is usually discarded or fed to animals. These are the leaves of the sweet potato plant. In most farming systems, a crop is defined by the moment it is fully harvested. Anything produced before that point is rarely counted as food. Sweet potato farming follows this exact logic. Farmers plant once, then wait 4 to 5 months for the underground roots to mature. During that waiting period, the plant above the soil is largely ignored. Research published by the USDA Agricultural Research Service shows that sweet potato plants begin producing edible leaves within approximately 3 to 4 weeks after planting. These leaves can be cut without killing the plant, and the plant responds by producing new growth. This cycle can repeat multiple times before the roots are ready for harvest. Agricultural studies describe this early leaf growth as biomass that is usually removed during field management or redirected to animal feed. It is not recorded as part of the food yield, even though it is edible, nutritious, and already growing on the same land. From a biological perspective, the plant is producing food early. From an industrial perspective, that food does not count because it does not fit the timeline of the primary crop. In industrial agriculture, value is assigned long before a crop is harvested. The part of the plant that fits storage, transport, and standardized markets is labeled as food. Everything else is classified differently. In the case of sweet potato farming, this distinction is clear. The underground roots are counted, weighed, priced, and sold. The leaves are not. Reports published by the Food and Agriculture Organization describe how sweet potato leaves are commonly removed during field maintenance or diverted to animal feed in large-scale production systems. The decision is not based on nutrition. It is based on logistics. Fresh leaves spoil quickly, cannot be stored for long periods, and do not travel well through centralized supply chains. The same reports note that in many regions, especially where farming remains small-scale, these leaves are eaten regularly as vegetables. The difference is not biological. It is systemic. Industrial agriculture is designed to handle products that can be harvested once, stored for months, and shipped long distances. Foods that grow quickly and require immediate use fall outside that design. As a result, a nutritious, edible part of the crop is present on the farm, but excluded from the food system. Once labeled as secondary or non-commercial, it disappears from statistics, markets, and public awareness, even though it continues to grow in plain sight. The decision to ignore sweet potato leaves is often justified by the assumption that they offer little nutritional value. Laboratory analysis shows the opposite. A peer-reviewed study published in Food Chemistry examined the chemical composition of sweet potato leaves to determine whether they qualify as a legitimate human food. The researchers analyzed multiple leaf samples and found that they contain high levels of vitamin A in the form of carotenoid compounds, along with measurable amounts of iron and other essential minerals. The study also identified a wide range of antioxidant compounds, including polyphenol and flavonoids, which are associated with protective effects against oxidative stress. The authors concluded that sweet potato leaves meet the criteria of what food science defines as a nutritional and functional food. In practical terms, this places them in the same category as commonly consumed leafy vegetables, rather than as agricultural byproducts. The nutritional profile was not incidental or trace level. It was consistent and significant across samples. What this research makes clear is that the leaves are not nutritionally inferior to the root. They serve a different function. While the root provides calories and storage energy, the leaves provide micronutrients and bioactive compounds that are most valuable early in the growing season. The science does not classify them as waste. Only the system does. The idea that sweet potato leaves are unusual or unappealing comes largely from places where they are rarely seen. In many parts of the world, these leaves are not treated as a byproduct at all. They are treated as a vegetable. In regions across East and Southeast Asia, as well as large areas of Africa, sweet potato leaves are harvested deliberately and cooked the same day. They are prepared in simple ways, boiled, stir-fried, or added to soups and stews, much like spinach or other leafy greens. Their use is not tied to famine or emergency conditions. They are eaten year-round as part of regular meals. Markets sell bundles of fresh leaves, and home gardens rely on them as a dependable source of greens while other crops are still growing. This pattern reflects a different relationship with time, where food systems depend less on long storage and long-distance transport. Speed matters more. A plant that produces edible leaves within weeks is valuable, even if those leaves cannot be stored for months. In these systems, the sweet potato plant is not a single harvest crop. It is a continuous source of food. What appears invisible in industrial agriculture remains obvious in places where farming and eating are closely connected. The leaves were never forgotten. They were simply never removed from daily life. Modern agriculture is built around predictability. Crops are selected not only for how they grow, but for how they move through storage facilities, transport networks, and markets. Sweet potato leaves fail at nearly every one of these requirements. They are highly perishable, lose quality within days, and require immediate consumption. This makes them difficult to standardize, ship, and sell at scale. A detailed analysis published by the Food and Agriculture Organization explains that leafy byproducts of root crops are rarely integrated into commercial food systems because they do not align with existing supply chains. The report notes that food systems favor crops that can be harvested once, stored for long periods, and distributed over wide distances. Leaves, by contrast, demand local handling and rapid turnover. Further agricultural studies described in sweet potato, an untapped food resource, show that economic value in farming is often assigned after harvest, not during growth. Because sweet potato leaves cannot be easily stored or exported, they are excluded from yield calculations and market planning. Their nutritional value becomes irrelevant once logistics take priority. This is not a failure of the plant. It is a consequence of how food systems are designed. What cannot be stored is treated as unstable. What is unstable is treated as unprofitable. And what is unprofitable is quietly removed from the definition of food. Concerns about safety are often raised when unfamiliar foods are discussed, and sweet potato leaves are no exception. Like many leafy vegetables, they contain naturally occurring compounds that can be harmful if consumed raw or in large quantities. This has contributed to hesitation in places where the leaves are not traditionally eaten. But this concern is frequently overstated. In practice, the leaves are rarely eaten raw. They are cooked just like spinach or kale. Simple preparation methods, boiling, sautéing, or steaming, significantly reduce compounds that interfere with mineral absorption. These methods have been used for generations, long before laboratory analysis confirmed their effects. The result is a cooked vegetable that is safe and widely consumed. Misunderstanding arises when the leaves are judged outside their cultural context. In regions where they are part of daily meals, preparation knowledge is passed down routinely. There is no special processing, no complex technique. The leaves are treated as food because they have always been food. What prevents wider acceptance is not risk, but unfamiliarity. Modern food systems tend to distrust what they do not recognize. When preparation knowledge disappears, hesitation replaces experience. The leaves themselves have not changed. Only our relationship with them has. Sweet potato farming operates on two parallel timelines, but only one is officially recognized. The first is immediate. Within weeks of planting, the vine produces edible leaves that can be harvested repeatedly without reducing the final root yield. The second timeline is delayed. The roots require several months before they can be dug, stored, and sold. Modern agriculture is built entirely around the second. Research programs documented by the International Potato Center describe sweet potato as a dual-use crop, capable of providing both early leafy vegetables and later calorie-dense roots from the same field. These studies note that harvesting leaves does not necessarily compromise root production when managed properly. Biologically, the plant is designed to feed people twice. Yet food systems rarely acknowledge this. Yield is measured at harvest, not during growth. Leaves gathered early are excluded from production data, even though they are consumed in many regions. As a result, official statistics describe a crop that produces food once, instead of a plant that produces food continuously. This narrow accounting shapes how agriculture is optimized. Inputs, labor, and markets are all aligned with delayed returns. Fast nutrition, even when it exists on the same plant, is treated as irrelevant. The leaves fall outside the timeline that defines success, so they disappear from the record. The story of sweet potato leaves is less about a single plant and more about how food systems decide what counts. Modern agriculture rewards traits that make food easy to manage at scale. Uniform harvest times, long shelf life, and the ability to travel thousands of kilometers without spoilage. Foods that do not meet these conditions are sidelined, regardless of their nutritional value. Speed is rarely considered an advantage. A crop that produces edible food in weeks is not automatically valued if that food cannot be stored or standardized. Nutrition is treated as secondary to logistics. The result is a system that favors delayed abundance over immediate nourishment. This way of thinking reshapes what farmers grow and what consumers expect. Foods are designed around markets, not meals. What cannot be boxed, frozen, or transported easily fades from view. Even when that food is already growing in the field, it remains invisible. Sweet potato leaves expose this contradiction clearly. They challenge the assumption that food must be harvested once, at the end of a season, to be real. By existing outside that logic, they reveal how narrow the modern definition of food has become. Food security is often discussed in terms of increasing yields, expanding farmland, or developing new crops. Less attention is given to food that already exists but is not counted. Sweet potato leaves fall directly into this gap. They appear early, require no additional land, and provide micronutrients at a time when many households experience shortages between harvests. Food security analyses published by the Food and Agriculture Organization emphasize that neglected and underutilized vegetables play a critical role in bridging seasonal nutrition gaps, especially in smallholder farming systems. These reports note that leafy vegetables harvested during early growth stages can significantly improve dietary quality without increasing production costs. Further research summarized in the journal Food Security shows that sweet potato leaves are already used informally for this purpose in parts of Africa and Asia, supplying vitamins and minerals when other vegetables are unavailable. The limitation is not biological or cultural. It is institutional. Because the leaves are not formally recognized as part of the crop, they are excluded from policy planning, extension services, and nutrition programs. As a result, a readily available source of early nutrition remains unofficial and unsupported. The plant contributes to food security in practice, but not on paper. Until that disconnect is addressed, a portion of the food supply will continue to exist outside the systems designed to protect it. Nothing about sweet potato leaves is hidden. They grow openly, rapidly, and predictably on land that is already being farmed. Their nutritional value has been measured, their safety understood, and their use established across entire regions of the world. The reason they remain marginal is not lack of evidence, but lack of recognition. Modern agriculture was designed to simplify food into a single outcome: one harvest, one product, one moment of value. Anything that falls outside that structure is treated as secondary, even when it contributes real nutrition. Sweet potato leaves challenge this model by producing food early, continuously, and without additional inputs. They do not wait for permission from markets or systems to exist. What this reveals is a broader pattern. Food systems often prioritize what is easy to manage over what is immediately useful. Speed, freshness, and nutritional density are sacrificed for durability and scale. In that trade-off, some of the most practical foods are left behind.